Well, guys, you know that old saying that when it rains, it pours? That has never been truer than it has been the last few days for me and for us. Yes, my wife, Sarah, has had a, a really not so good setback in her recovery after she got out of the hospital last week. So we're going to talk about that here a little bit. The Vochek experience starts right now. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video of the Vochek experience, where idiots are still always us. Even in these bad times that are happening right now, we're still idiots. We still gotta keep our focus. We still gotta try to keep ourselves busy and keep ourselves, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. We gotta keep it together in really tough times. And right now we are in some tough times, especially when it comes to Sara. Don't mind the mess back here. My mother just moved back from Delaware not long ago, and we're still trying to put everything together with all her stuff and everything in this small single-wide trailer. We're trying to, get things together, so it's a little bit messy, so don't mind that. And don't mind if you see cats ripping and racing and dogs barking and all kinds of weird noises and stuff, because it is right now, it is almost 1:30 in the morning when I'm recording this, and at nighttime these animals, they get a little wild. So yeah, they get a little wild and you hear all kinds of noises and stuff when you're trying to go to sleep. So just never mind that. But anyway, like I said, we have had a major setback with my wife's recovery. As you know, if you watched the previous two videos that I've done, my wife was in the hospital. We took her in because she was having nausea and throwing up and stuff for like almost a whole month. And we took her in there, and she ended up being in the hospital for about a week and a half. And during that week and a half, we discovered that she has congestive heart failure. She had a blood clot in her lung. She had walking pneumonia. We found out that she has iron deficiency, anemic. So, yeah. We found out some things that we did not want to find out, really, But it was a good thing that we did find out about them, that we know what was going on and some stuff, and so we can treat, her conditions and stuff so she can get better and all that stuff. And in regards to the congestive heart failure, we didn't get a chance yet to go and visit the cardiac surgeon, but it looks like we're going to have to put that on hold right now, because 9 chances out of 10, she does gonna need open heart surgery to fix a leaky valve in her heart that's not working properly, which is causing the congestive heart failure and everything. But it's gonna have to wait, because Sara came home on just this past Sunday, and She was home not even a whole week. Then Thursday night, I had to call 911, and I had to get an ambulance out here, and I had to get them to take her back to the emergency room. Now, what happened is both me and my mother had to work that day and everything, and she was already not feeling all that great that day anyway. I mean, she was doing pretty good the previous days, but when she woke up Thursday morning, she was, getting nauseous again and all that stuff, and throwing up and all that stuff. But I went to work and everything, and I worked till midnight, and my mother had to go to work at like 11:30 at night. So Sarah ended up taking my mother to work and then coming to my work to pick me up to bring me home after I was done at midnight. She managed to drive us home and everything, but as soon as we got home, she started to get confused. Like, she was like, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know how I got home. What's going on? I'm so confused. And my first reaction, because of now that we know that she's got this heart condition and everything else, I thought maybe she was having a stroke, because I know confusion is also part of, of that. So I was afraid of that. So I went and I called 911. I got the ambulance down here. They looked at her for a couple minutes, and they had to get her into the ambulance because she was still confused, didn't really know still where she was or even what year it was. So they put her in the ambulance, and the one EMT, there was two of them. One of them was really, really nice. I will say that. He was really, really nice. The second one was not so nice, and I was not happy about it. Now, she had just come home not even a week before, and she, has all these bruises on her arms and stuff from all the times they had to stick her when she was in the hospital before, to get the blood, the IVs, all kinds of stuff. Like, she's bruised up to the max. And especially with her being anemic, those bruises are going to show up pretty fast, and they're going to stay a while. But the one EMT guy thought that I was beating her up. He's like, what's with all the bruises? Are you, doing something you're not supposed to do? You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not beating her up. And then he asked me if she was on meth, and I'm like, no, she's not on meth. I understand that they got to ask certain questions, but just the way he was asking me was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, like, you really know. Yeah, she's probably taking meth behind your back. You don't know nothing. You know what I mean? It's just, he had just this attitude, like, eh. And, but anyway, they got her into the ambulance. I had to go grab all her med bottles and stuff for all the meds that she takes, especially the new meds that she has to take with all this stuff that we found out with the heart and the blood clots and all that stuff. So they wrote down all that stuff, and then they went and they took her to the hospital. And so I came back in the house, gathered up a few things and everything, got in the car, and then I drove down to the emergency room. And this is about like 1:30 in the morning. So I was already pretty tired because I had already worked 2 to midnight. But I drove down to the hospital and everything. I get to the hospital. They let me back there. They tell me what room she's in. I'm on my way back, and outside her room is that same EMT. And he looks at me and he's like, you never told me she was diabetic too. I was like, well, I'm sorry, like, all this stuff going on, being scared, didn't know what was going on. Was she having a stroke or what, And he's there grilling me because I didn't tell him that she was diabetic. Anybody could forget to do that when things are going on that, is a hectic thing, and, sometimes you just don't think right away. But anyway, he told me that her blood sugar was like really, really low, like it was like 31 or something like that. So they had to bring her blood sugar up on the way and everything. And then he left, and they finally let me in the room to see her. And I walk in, and there's this one nurse that was in there that was getting ready to do something. I'm not exactly sure what she was doing. Probably getting ready to take more blood, because they like taking blood, apparently. And I walked in, and the nurse was like, well, who are you? And I'm like, hi, my name's Joey. I'm her husband, And she looked at me, and she goes, are you sick? And I'm like, no, why? She's like, your voice sounds like you're sick. Do you have laryngitis or something, or something going on, like a cold or whatever? I'm like, no, that's just how my voice sounds. So I ended up having to explain to her, why my voice sounds the way it does, where I look like a guy, but I'm talking like friggin' Mickey Mouse. And trust me, I get this all the time in comments and the videos here. I get them in the comments on my TikToks and my Reels and my YouTube Shorts. It don't matter. I get comments about my voice. So, it doesn't really bother me because I've gotten that for so many years that I don't really care anymore. And besides, I have a video that explains everything. If you really want to know, like I said, there's a video. You can find it. It's in its own playlist and all that stuff. You can find it and watch it, and it explains everything. But anyways, back to my wife. So after we get all that out of the way and everything, they come in and they tell me that there's something real serious going on with her. Other than just her blood sugar being low, because they managed to bring it up. She was finally starting to kind of know where she was and what was going on. I talked to her a little bit, in between all the times the nurses and the doctor came in and all that stuff. They took a lot more blood and hooked her up to some IVs and stuff. And so we were there for a while, like maybe about 2 hours. They took her to get a CT scan and everything, and then we went back to that room in the emergency room. And then after a while, they came in and they said, well, it looks like your wife is going to be admitted again. And they told me that they were going to transfer her up to the ICU, which was a surprise for me because that's not where she was the last time. And I was not expecting that this time. But they admitted her, and then when they came to take her up, they let me go up with her in the doctor's elevators. That was, pretty surprising that they let me do that. So we got up to the floor where the ICU is located. They put me in this little waiting room that's there and told me that they got to go and do some stuff to her first before I can be allowed to come back. So I go into this little waiting room. I'm by myself. It's already getting to be like 5, almost 6 o'clock in the morning. And so I wait for probably about 45 minutes, almost an hour, before somebody came back to get me. And so when the nurse came back and got me, they took me to where they had her. And once we got there, they were telling me that they sedated her and they also intubated her, which means they put her on a vent to help her breathe and everything. And there's a cat jumping up here. I hope he doesn't walk across. Okay, good. I wasn't sure if he was going to walk across in front of me here or go up and back of the monitor and everything. But anyways, so yeah, they had her sedated, and they had her intubated. Blah. Like I said, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning right now. So after all that, then the nurse practitioner comes in and pulls me off to the side and tells me that she right now is septic, and it's really, really bad. And she's explaining to me how sepsis is bad and stuff. And I told her, like, well, yeah, I'm aware that sepsis is bad, but I'm like, how bad? And she was like really, really bad. She kept saying that she is really, really sick. And she was explaining, how they had to put her on all these different IVs for, antibiotics and steroids and all this stuff, and they put her on something to help with the sepsis to try to get that taken care of, and explaining why they're putting her on the vent and all that stuff. And she also told me that her what do they call it, the lactic acid, it was shooting way up there, and that's one thing you don't want to mess with. And I think I mentioned that in one of my last videos about this, that her levels were going up, and they managed to get them down. Well, apparently they're going back up again, and I think they said that her level was like a 13.5 or something, and so they had to try to get that down, and the nurse practitioner said to me, she's like, now I've looked at her blood work and it's not good. I have seen other patients with similar blood work that she's got, and they ended up passing away. So she was like, this is very serious. She's like, don't be surprised if sometime today she goes into cardiac arrest. And she's like, now if that happens, I will do everything in my power to bring her back. But just don't be surprised if I call you later and tell you she went into cardiac arrest. That's one thing you don't want to hear. You really don't want to hear that, with your wife or your husband, your significant other, is having issues, and they're like, yeah, there's a chance she could, go into cardiac arrest and die today. That's one thing you don't want to hear. I wanted to stay there. I wanted to stay, but I couldn't because I had to, go back and pick my mother up from work. And then I had a doctor's appointment myself, so I had to go. And plus, I had to get some sleep because I had to be back in at work later. And I know most people would take off work and everything. And believe me, I thought about calling off again, but I only have so much, personal time and so much sick time that I could take. And, but I was just playing it by ear that day. I just said to myself, as long as I'm not getting that call, I'll go to work, but as soon as I get that call, I'm out of there and I'm headed back to the hospital. And I even told, why did that happen? That was weird. That never happened before. All I did was do this. What? A little thumb thingy on this side somewhere showed up on the screen. That was weird. That was not me. That was not me. Apparently, my Mac computer here did something. I don't know. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. Like I said, I'm getting tired. It's like 1:30 in the morning. But anyways, so I also called my boss too, and I let her know what was going on. And she was like, all right, well, let me know if something happens. She's like, I'll cover for you. So that's good, But I ended up calling into the hospital before I went to work, and they told me that she was still doing good, that nothing happened. So I went to work, and I did not get that call. So thankfully, I did not get that call. And the next day, I called down there again, and they told me that her lactic acids were going down some, which was good, and all that stuff. So, and they told me that she was stable. That's one thing that really took a little bit of a weight off my shoulders, was that she was stable. So during the course of the rest of that weekend, up until today, she has been going back and forth with the lactic acid. Some days it goes up, and then they get it to go back down, and then it goes back up again. The one thing that they're trying to do is get her to get strong enough to get off the vent, but that hasn't happened yet. She's been sedated for the past few days. However, I think starting yesterday into today, they didn't sedate her, but she was still pretty out of it, where she didn't, like, you know, do much of anything. She did open her eyes. She moved around a little bit. She squeezed our hands and everything, but she just went back to sleep. So, I don't know if it's a side effect of being sedated or just the shock of everything, because she still has the vent, down her throat and everything. So I don't know if maybe that's why she's just like, oh yeah, I'm not dealing with that, and just, checks out. You know what I mean? But at least she's still stable. Her temperature did go up. She did have a fever earlier today, and they managed to get that down. I mean, they have her on antibiotics and, everything. But the one thing that's really frustrating me is they don't know what's causing this. They don't know why she went septic. They don't know where the infection is. They don't know if it's an infection or if it's something going on related to her arthritis that she has. She's had arthritis since she was little. And so we don't know if that could be causing it, because arthritis is an autoimmune disorder and that could cause some issues. So we don't really know what's going on, and they're trying to find out. And it's been a few days and they have not found out yet. So yeah. So she's not really out of the woods yet, but she's slowly getting there. She's slowly getting better, which is good. Just as long as her lactic acid stuff can stay at a good level. If it can go down and stay down instead of going back up again. Like, it'll go down and they're like, all right, well, let's try to wean her off of this. And then it goes back up again and they're like, what the heck? So then they gotta go and put her on more stuff to get it back down again. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel helpless because I can't really help her other than, go down there in between my work shifts and, spend some time with her, even though she can't really talk to me right now or anything, but at least I'm there. And I talk to her and, and all that. And, and the other thing is too, like, her legs and her feet and her hands are swelling up pretty good because of the congestive heart failure. So they got these compression pads wrapped around her legs to try to help with that. And they have her arms elevated a little bit, and they have her legs elevated. And so yeah, I really don't know what's going on. We really don't know what caused this setback. But this is a pretty big setback. Something we were not prepared for. Something we did not know was going to happen. It just came out of the blue. I mean, she came home from the hospital, earlier in the week. And, she was doing pretty good. I mean, she's not 100%. She wasn't 100%. But she was doing good. The one night we ordered pizza from Pizza Hut. And, we ate pizza, trying to get caught up on our shows and everything. And, so things were looking good. And, she went to her regular doctor. She made all of her follow-up appointments and everything for, her heart. Just being out of the hospital in general. And all the stuff that she needed to go through, because of, with the blood thinners and all that stuff. She had, I think, like 4 or 5 appointments that she had to make. So far, she's only made her regular, doctor's appointment. But with some of the other appointments coming up, actually this week, I'm probably going to have to call them and let them know that she's back in the hospital, so they don't think that she's just ghosting them or something. But yeah. This is pretty hard on me. I mean, to look at me now, like on this video, you'd probably think, that, this guy's got it together. And, in truth, I really don't. I mean, yeah, I'm projecting, that everything's fine and everything, but not really. I mean, I'm scared. I don't know if something's going to happen and things take a turn for the worse. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I mean, she's got a lot of people, a lot of family and friends praying for her. But so far, I mean, she's stable and she's slowly getting better. And I'm hoping that that trend continues. I mean, I know we'd all like her to be better like that and just be better and everything. But I know that's not going to be. I mean, I don't know how much longer she's going to be on the vent. I don't even know how much longer she's going to be in the ICU. I don't know how long she's going to be in the hospital this time. We don't know. Until they figure out what's going on and until they can figure out how to get rid of whatever it is she's got, whatever infection it is, or, whatever the case may be, whatever it is, and wherever it is. Because they don't even know where that's at, if it's in her blood, if it's in her, any of her organs or, whatever. They don't know where it is. I mean, I know they've ruled out, some possibilities, but no idea what's going on or what's causing it. So the only thing I can do is just wait and go visit her when I can, call down there for updates when I can, and all that stuff, and keeping you guys updated on Facebook and of course here on YouTube, and all that good stuff, because I know there's a lot of people that are worried and wondering, and I'm getting a lot of texts and a lot of messages, asking about her, and so we're just hoping that she gets better. That's all we're hoping for, is she gets better. I don't like seeing her hooked up to all these tubes and the thing and the vent down her throat and all that stuff, and not being able to talk to her. Well, I could talk to her, but she just can't talk back to me. I would love for her to wake up, but I don't know if that's going to be tomorrow, the next day. I mean, we don't know. It's a guessing game on that, and we're just taking it one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. So, yeah. Not exactly, what we thought we'd be doing. So, it just sucks. I mean, she's only 31 years old, and that's the other thing that the doctors are baffled from, about the fact that she's 31 and she's going through this with the heart issues, the anemia, and the blood clots, and now whatever's going on with her now, they caused the sepsis and all that stuff. So we're just, taking it day by day, but also at the same time, in shock that this happened, and we're all just, grasping straws trying to figure out what happened. So yeah, that's the update. So I mean, I'll give you guys more updates as they come, and all that good stuff, but yeah, let's just keep praying and keep hoping for the best and that she gets better, because that's what we want. We want her to get better. I want her to get better so she can come home, relax. I'm sure the animals here miss her. I know our dog misses her. So anytime she hears a noise, she's out looking at the window, seeing if she's coming. So, yeah. So, but yeah, that's the update. So, yeah. So I guess that's also the end of this video, because I'm getting tired and I need to get my butt to bed. So with that, if you like this video and you appreciated the update and you want to, get some more updates, hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell so you get notified when I post any more videos, especially about this. And if you want to support this dumb little channel of mine, hit that join button, become a member of the Idiot Squad, because we can always use more idiots. You know, it's always a plus there. And of course, if you want to, you can follow me on all the major social medias. All those links are down below. Check out the merch store. That link is also down below. Check out my audio podcast, Idiots Are Us, The Story of Me. That link is also down below, and it's available on Apple Podcasts and any other podcast platforms that you enjoy listening to. So there's that too. But like I said, I will give you guys another update as soon as I get an update, and all that good stuff. And let's just keep sending some positive vibes my wife's way so she can get better. So she can come home and we can get all this stuff behind us, you know, so she's better and, you know, all that stuff. So, but anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day, good night, good week, good weekend, whatever the case may be. I hope you're not too warm where you're at, because it's been pretty hot lately. And I hope you're staying indoors and cool, air conditioning, you know, and everything. Drink lots of water, too. Drink lots of water. That's good to drink water, yeah. Especially in this day and age, when the temperatures shoot up to almost 100 degrees. Water. But anyways, with that, I will see you all in the next video, whether that will be an update to this, to what's going on with Sara, or just another video in general of anything else. Whatever it is, I hope you all have a good day, and I will see you all in the next one. So, bye for now.